The gospel challenges the world's values and its sinfulness. Few of us have any problem believing that. Our problem comes when we're reminded that the gospel also challenges the church's values and sinfulness. The values of the church are not solely the values of the reign of God. They cannot be. After all, the church is people like you and me. Much of my life is conducted without reference to Jesus. I look for the easy way out. I avoid situations where I might have to make my faith clear to others. I postpone the prayer, study, and action I know I should do. Add to me all the other Christians who've ever lived, and the sinfulness and weakness of the church should not surprise us. The wonder is that the Holy Spirit is able to work through such a weak community. James and John were fishermen who left their father, their boat, and their nets to follow Jesus. In spite of the fact that they had seen his deeds and heard his teaching, they ask for special treatment. The other apostles are indignant at this. Their indignation, however, is not because James and John have asked for high places, but because they wanted those places for themselves. In Mark's Gospel, those with a special role in the community, the 12, are the prime example of people seeking a special place. We can see the same situation today. Have you ever been to a church function at which special places had not been set aside for clergy and religious? Usually it's others who have to search for places on their own. When it comes to titles and forms of address, we do know better. We set all sorts of distinctions, primarily among those publicly committed to being servants. Our bishops wear headgear probably derived from that of Roman emperors. H.L. Mencken defined an archbishop as a Christian ecclesiastic of a rank superior to that attained by Christ. Some of our clergy are addressed as Monsignor, my Lord. The servant of the servants of God is addressed by his supposed masters as Your Holiness. Even brother, father, and sister become titles of rank and entitlement rather than of service. This doesn't mean that popes are incapable of holiness, or that priests cannot be true fathers in faith, or that brothers and sisters never walk with us on our journey. It does mean, however, that over time we've come to invest a lot, perhaps too much, in titles and status. The temptation to status is not limited to one group in the church, and no one is exempt. Each of us is tempted to want recognition for what we do, say, or think. It's natural. Sometimes being a Christian means going against doing what comes naturally. The whole world does what comes naturally, and that's why it needs salvation. Jesus requires that his followers live the reverse of what the world deems natural, that we be signs of that salvation. Therefore, he tells the disciples that we must be slaves. We should be concerned with service rather than an egotistical pursuit of status, position, or recognition. Jesus himself is, of course, the prime example of this. He experienced our weakness and temptation. The difference is that he did not yield to them. He remained a servant to all. Today, he warns us against a real danger in the fulfillment of our mission, the temptation to status, prestige, and recognition. He reminds us that his way is the way of the cross. His followers can expect only that as reward for their faithfulness to him. Responding to requests from viewers who want a print version of this video series, the Australasian Theological Forum, in cooperation with UCA News, has published in season and out homilies for Year B. It's available from ATF or your bookseller.